Just a little picture.
3, 2, 1.
And we are live. We're live. We're live throughout the board here. We're live on ComedySchoolsRadioNetwork.com. We're live on YouTube on the Comedy Schools channel, and we're live on Facebook Live. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, moms and dads, children of all ages. You are watching and listening to Living on a Thin Line with Tony Vicich. I am the aforementioned Tony Vicich. We come to you every day at 2 p.m. time, currently Arizona time, currently Pacific time, soon to change to Mountain time. We come to you every day, and we come to you on those 3 platforms I just mentioned, and the show is built around 3 things. It is built around your questions and comments left on the aforementioned websites where we try to comment back or answer questions. It's built around some doodad, memento, oddity, curiosity, potion, pipe, paper that we have laying here about the home office that we share with you and then try to weave a story around. And we share at least one artist and one piece of music with you that we highly recommend. The new thing that we've been doing for the last few weeks is that we're actually posting links to the particular songs that we recommend so that you can immediately listen to them if you so desire. No more hunting around. We're like one of those Time Life infomercials at night. No more hunting around. No more trying to listen on the radio. Now you can hear it anytime you want. So we're just like them without any of the money. We don't have any of the money. It's been kind of a kickback day for us. I don't know about you. It's the weather has grown pleasant here in Arizona. Fairly pleasant. Still hitting like the mid to high 90s in the middle of the day. But getting cool enough at night that the swimming pool, I don't know if you call it. I'm from the Midwest, so if you have if you're at a playground, there is a sliding board, not a board. If you have a pen, it is an ink pen, and if you have a pool, it is a swimming pool, as opposed to some other type of pool. Just cool enough now where the water is just a little too darn chilly for my bones. So, but the days are incredibly pleasant. A little secret about Arizona that most people who have not visited us that you do not know. You know that it's hot here. We're infamous for our desert heat. You know, we got a lot of cactus here. We're infamous for our cactus. What you don't know is how many prickly people we have. Also, you don't know that for about 6 months out of the year, it is perfect dew point. The weather couldn't be finer, even if you was in North Carolina. And we're getting to enter into that portion of the year. We'll have 1 or 2 days, tops 5, between now and the end of March, where it gets below freezing, and then only for a short period of time. And that's when we run out with a bunch of blankets and old underwear and throw them over our bushes to save them. Hello to you, Jim Perry. Hello, Kevin Brown. Hello, Tina and Mike Lawson, Kelly Wilson, Brother Jer. All of you, the Living on a Thin Line family is beginning to gather. It's a gathering of the tribe. We do this every day. We are your antidote. We are your reprieve from all the weirdness. And I'm going to try to adhere to that motto today. What was I doing right before this? Well, I'm glad you asked. I actually hopped in my vehicle. I have lived in this community where I live now, astonishingly to me, because it still feels like a new phase in my life, for almost 15 years. Started building this house 15 years ago. I didn't build it with my own hands. I didn't hammer with wood and nails and whatnot, because if I did, it would have fallen down rather quickly. But I started having it built in 2005. First started coming out to this town in 2004. And I got to say, it's one of the prettiest, nicest places I've ever lived. And here lately, and you can check it out, Maricopa Meadows, Maricopa, Arizona. Here lately, because there's an election going on for directors, which is one of the sleepiest damn elections in the world, a group of people who I'm not going to ascribe an emotional content to them, have formed. I got here, I got a bunch of gibberish. I know it's not a political show, but you must have some night debate comments. I will, Jim, and I'll get to them. And one of the things that has been going on like unaffiliated pages that have our community's name on them is just king of the place. Oh, this is the hood. Oh, this is the ghetto now. Oh, this is terrible. And I know a good part of this neighborhood from driving and walking through it, but there's other parts I don't normally walk or drive through. And so I drove through it today. And it was a lovely day to do such a thing. Through what is basically just, a giant subdivision. And I got to tell you, the big difference in my neighborhood when I first moved into it, when I got the keys to this house, it took me a year to build it, 2006, and now is the trees are bigger and there are more people. And since there are more people, there are more cars. End of a story. The houses are beautiful. The people are friendly. The park is nice. It's safe. There's no crime. We've got a grade school, junior high, and high school all within walking distance. And I mean walking distance for me. I mean, as a grandpa, it'd be walking distance. I'm a great grandpa. And I find it disconcerting. I find it sad. I think it was Donald Trump when he first became president, kept going, I inherited a mess. This place it's a disaster. And it seems that a select few people in the surrounding areas here have adopted that to try to do what, I'm not sure, for a volunteer position. But I want to tell you, no matter what you hear, no matter what you might, someone might say that this is a lovely place. I posted some pictures on my own personal page. I just want to get that off my chest. Jim Perry asked me if any thoughts on last night's debate. Here are my main thoughts. No harm, no foul, either side. It was Joe Biden's debate to lose, and he did not lose it. I don't think anyone who watched Kelly Wilson is better than the trailer and the cabin down by the river. So that's true. Kelly Wilson and I just, before I go back to Trump and Joe Biden, one of my very first roommate where we signed a lease together, we had an apartment, a 1-bedroom apartment. But also I lived in a trailer, and that trailer was a pretty nice trailer in 1976. And I lived in not one, Kelly, but 2 cabins down by the river, one being a raucous party house, and another one where I kind of lived more alone when I was a wee bit older. First place when I was 18, second place when I was 22, and I was all mature and grown up, and I got drunk by myself instead of with a large group of people. Those places had their charms, by the way. Those places had their charms. They definitely did. But this is a pretty place, and if I was going to land any place in my 60s, I'm glad I landed here. I don't care what anybody wants to post on social media. It's just a lot of hoo-ha. Last night's debate was, I think for all of us who were watching, it did not live up to any of our expectations or anxieties. Having witnessed the first debate and having witnessed Donald Trump's style of debate and style of connecting with voters, we were expecting more of the same. There was the whole buildup that they were muting microphones and that he was constantly attacking Kristen Welker, who was the moderator. And it just turned out to be something that we used to have in America, which was a rather sober debate between 2 opposing parties. The primary difference would be in the massive amount of mistruths spoken by Donald J. Trump. But he spoke them in more reasoned tones. So do I think that Donald Trump gained a single thing from last night's debate? I do not. I don't think he convinced an appreciable amount of people, okay, now I'll vote for him. Do I think Joe Biden lost any voters because they went, I don't know now? No. Either way, last night was just that. No harm, no foul. It was Donald Trump had to win. He had to score big points, knockout blows. He had to really take shots to chew into what now appears to be a sizable lead for Joe Biden. And I didn't see it. Now, I want you to keep something in mind. There's been 2 debates historically that I've watched. Hold on, Sullivan, I'll get right to you. My grandson has a thought on this. That I watched where someone who I didn't want to win, I went, oh my goodness, they just won. And that was George W. Bush debating Michael Dukakis. George H.W. Bush, I'm sorry. And then George W. Bush debating Al Gore. In both of those debates, I thought there were key moments that really affected a good swath of voters and actually kind of turned the tide, or at least solidified So where I actually looked at, in both those instances, I was with people and I looked at them and went, that guy just won. And in both cases, they went, no. Yeah, he just won. I didn't see that last night. So for me, it was just that. It wasn't that big of a deal. Kelly Wilson points out that at the cabin down at the river, we had a non-flushing toilet. That's true. Kelly Wilson in 1973, 74, when you were hanging out with us, me and Ken Craffey, etc., at the cabin down in Burnsville. That's true. We had a toilet that stopped working for a period of time. But that didn't stop us from rock and rolling and hoochie cooing. We were out in the woods, for God's sakes. We found a way. Hey, if you're looking for fun stuff, hold on. Sullivan, you had a question or a comment?
Yes.
All right, my grandson, come over here so people can see that you're a real person. Wave to the people. Say, hello, I'm Sullivan.
Hello.
All right, what is your question or comment?
So, last night I watched a little bit of the debate, and it was kind of just looked like last one, except like there were a bunch of other people talking and some other stuff going on.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank you. From an 8-year-old, it seemed to him there was a bunch of other stuff going on, and I couldn't agree more. There's always a bunch of stuff going on. I don't know if you know this or not, but as we speak right now, Sullivan, my grandson, is reorganizing our entire bobblehead collection. It's not a collection. See what you guys have done to me? You have I've now been brainwashed by my audience because I point out this is not a collection that we do bobblehead rescue. He is reorganizing the rescue area for all of our bobbleheads, and now there are dozens of bobbleheads sitting on the floor of this office. You know why? Because we actually discovered some space where people could actually walk in this office, and we went, no, that can't be. What's your favorite bobblehead of all the ones that we have? Wouldn't it be over on the chair over there? Wouldn't that be where your favorite bobblehead would be? Over there on the chair?
Yes.
Well, okay, you want to show it to the people? My grandson's going to show you his...
I'm just kidding.
Here is, oddly enough, my grandson's favorite bobblehead. He showed it to you right now. That is the rare, only 3 of a kind, Tony Vicich bobblehead.
It's plastic. It's like not hard plastic.
It's not hard
soft
plastic? Yeah, it's soft plastic. That's right. That's what I am. I'm soft plastic.
Which is actually
Let me show the people one more time.
I think.
There it is. I know. I just want you to be envious. It is the Tony Vicich bobblehead right there. Only 3 of these in the entire world. We're thinking about manufacturing a line of Tony Vicich bobbleheads different from these, because if I make any more of these, then I will have broken my promise. We gave one away when I was the inaugural comic at JP's Comedy Club a few weeks ago, and we gave it away to the winner, and the winner was Kevin Brown. When Kevin Brown won, he went, what are the odds? I go, 1 in 40. There's 40 people in the room. Speaking of JP's Comedy Club, if you are in the greater Phoenix area, the greater Gilbert area, the greater Arizona area, if you're in the Mountain Time Zone, hell, if you're, what time is it? You might be able to make the second show. If you're in Los Angeles right now and hop into your vehicle, all right, if you're in Salt Lake City and hop on a plane, if you're in New Mexico and you hop on a pony, and you probably wouldn't make it on a pony from New Mexico. There are 2 great shows tonight at JP's Comedy Club, jpscomedyclub.com, 7 p.m. and 9 p.m. with one of Phoenix's best, Mike Dapper, and a host of young aspiring Phoenix comics as well. Go to jpscomedyclub.com. And we're also getting ready to put together the next round of our exciting stand-up comedy classes. I'm going to have a videotape of something at the end of November that I'm going to share with you. Our original flagship home, the Tempe Center for the Arts, has been closed since mid-March, and we applaud their decision. However, they are still doing some forms of entertainment. And on November 25th, ComedySchools.com, Tony Vicich Presents, will be taping a live show at the Tempe Center for the Arts. There will be a little teeny tiny audience, and it will be broadcast out from the Tempe Center for the Arts. The comics live in the room using safe social distancing procedures, wiping down that microphone, Wow, man, for years, if you were a comic, you wiped down the microphone anyway. Like that dude was up there talking in it. I'm going to wipe that down. But Save Social, a live show, taped and then broadcast live into the Tempe Center of the Arts greater network. And we will have a copy of it, and I'll share it with you. Great comics on that show: Bob Kubota, Mary Upchurch, Jim Perry, Keith Ellis, and yours truly. So I got that coming up for you. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up for you. Let's get to, shall we, the music, unless you, the audio. Hold on. Yes, Sullivan.
Exactly right now,
Yeah.
likely that all of the baseball bobbleheads,
All the bobbleheads.
all the baseball bobbleheads,
All the baseball bobbleheads.
actually, you have more of those than
I have more baseball bobbleheads.
You have one hockey,
One hockey.
I think football, and then
I got one hockey, one football.
a couple of famous people, and then some other things.
A couple of famous people, some other things, and baseball.
Yes.
That's what we have. And basketball. You forgot about
Yeah,
basketball.
we have a basketball one there.
Yeah,
It's only
Darius
one.
Miles. Okay. All right, let's get to the music, shall we? Who are we going to recommend to you today? This was his third album, and it contained a lot of great hits. And he has become important in the soundtrack of so many people's lives. When you finally decided you want to listen to something a wee bit more sophisticated, a wee bit more adult, well, you thought maybe you wanted to listen to something romantic without it being heavy-handed romantic. There's romance where you walked in, somebody had like a purple room with a waterbed in the middle, playing Barry White. And I was like, okay. But then there was romantic where you walked in to a well-appointed room, candles lit on a nice, warm summer evening, and all out of the stereo, off the CD, came the sounds of Mr. Al Green, the Reverend Al Green, right there. And as we see him there, the young Reverend Al Green, incredibly gifted singer who shared so many great songs with us. And of course, the number one hit. Nancy even says no Elvis bobblehead. I just had to mention that we do not currently have in the rescue pen. And by the way, these bobbleheads are not put in cages.
Yet.
Yes, what? Yet. Yet. We do not have an Elvis bobblehead yet.
Yes, we might have one. I'm going to look some up.
You look him up. Right now, we do not currently have a Elvis. Let me get back to Al Green. His monster hit, of course, being Let's Stay Together, which we all loved. But on this album, where you could join, by the way, the Al Green International Fan Club, Suite 207, 300 Poplar Avenue, Memphis, Tennessee. I don't know if it's no longer in existence. The name of his album was I'm Still in Love with You, and had, of course, that great hit, I'm Still in Love with You, which is probably his second most popular song, enduring over the decades. Also, I'm Glad You're Mine. What a Wonderful Thing Love Is. Simply Beautiful. That's all the first side, along with another great Al Green hit, Love and Happiness. Side 2, he did Oh Pretty Woman, the Roy Orbison hit. For the Good Times, the Chris Christopherson legendary tune, originally done by Ray Price, of all people. Although Ray Price is a wonderful guy, just when you think of Chris Christopherson, you don't think about him reaching back into that country-politan era of music, but he did. Look What You've Done for Me and One of These Good Old Days. With the two big monsters, the two songs that just make you feel warm and fuzzy inside, kind of like a Quaalude, only without the side effects or the risk of going to federal prison for using illegal drugs. Where I'm Still in Love with You and Love and Happiness. And we're going to recommend, of course, just because we're going to want to listen to it again, I'm Still in Love with You, Al Green. This was his third album. Al Green on the Rise. It's produced by a guy named Winston Mitchell. I'm looking here to see if anybody was notable.
Found one.
Hold on, Sullivan has found a Elvis bobblehead. Can we see what you got there?
Wait, it's an Elvis. Oh, no.
This is not Elvis. This is something else. This is Pablo. Pablo is not Elvis.
You said Al Green.
Oh, you found Al Green. Okay. Now he's looking for Al Green bobbleheads. Al Green went on to have some difficulties in his life, as so many singers and artists and musicians do. When I hear people attacking musicians and singers and actors and writers and calling them privileged and calling them spoiled, I have to remind myself that everyone that I know who's now famous or who was famous or who was with us and gone, all pretty much started from either middle class or humble beginnings. Middle class or humble beginnings. And when that talent, that craft, honed by technique, that gift, fed properly, shot them into the stratosphere of the American mainstream, oftentimes they were woefully unprepared for it. Woefully unprepared. I want you to think for a moment. Hold on, all right, I got to stop for a second because we just found an Elvis bobblehead. It doesn't say how much it goes for, but there are Elvis bobbleheads in the world today.
Yes.
Elvis, of course, being one of those. A truck driving kid from a poor family, down in Mississippi, who skyrocketed to incredible fame, and they don't handle it well. And oftentimes they don't handle their relationships well. When so many people say they love you, and so many people want to love you, when you feel adored, when people hang on your every word and don't question it, it sometimes skews your reality. And then sometimes something brings you to crashing down to earth hard. And I mean hard. Such is what happened, and oftentimes people don't recover. Such is what happened to Al Green, who had a girlfriend with 3 children, who there was always the joke that his nickname was Al, don't talk to me about grits green. He had a girlfriend who scalded him with a pot of grits. The story is he was in the restroom, he was in the bathroom getting ready for bed, and he didn't want to marry her. Now, she was already married. This particular woman was already married and had 3 kids, but she wanted Al to marry her, and he was seeing her, whatever, and she got upset and came into the bathroom where he was getting ready for bed and threw a pot of scalding grits on him, causing him to get skin grafts on his stomach, etc. A short time after that, the woman committed suicide. This was quite a blow to Al Green. This was stunningly hard for him, as it would be for anyone. Oftentimes, when people are confronted with these sort of things in their lives spiral out of control. But fortunately for us, that did not happen to Al Green. Al Green found the Lord. Al Green found religion. Probably not a difficult thing for him to do. Raised in the church, of course. And became a reverend. And eschewed secular music. And for many years, only sang gospel music. Then returning once again to secular music. What we have, what remains for all of us, are these stunningly beautiful, effortless songs that Al Green recorded. Songs that, when we hear them on the radio, if we've never knew who he was, would make our eyebrow cock and go, all right, who's this? This is a great song. This is a great song. So many great songs by Al Green. Let me just read off to you a few of them. If you don't know Al Green's just a little bit of grown-up music. If you're not quite ready to be a grown-up, you're probably not quite ready for Al Green. All right. Let's see. Of course, Take Me to the River was one of his stunningly great songs. It was made even more popular with a very interesting version by the Talking Heads. I Can't Get Next to You. He did an R&B cover of the Temptations hit. Tired of Being Alone. Of course, Let's Stay Together, what we talked about here, and Still in Love with You, and Call Me. I love that. And Here I Am, Come and Get Me. All great songs, stunning songs. Okay, he did covers of other people's hits, as we pointed out there. Adventuresome enough to be a soul singer singing Chris Christopherson tunes. He's the kind of music, and when you're ready to grow up just a little bit, I don't mean settle down and let your teeth fall out and your hair fall out. I'm talking about when you reach a certain level of understanding and awareness. Well, there's a little something more out in the world besides, and that's out in the world, and it has this place too. Then you're ready for Al Green. And I hope you're ready for Al Green. I hope you're ready for the weekend. I hope you're ready, if you're in the greater Phoenix area, for the great shows at JP's Comedy Club tonight. I hope if you're ready to kind of branch out, improve your public speaking skills, or decide you'd like to go into stand-up comedy or just know a little bit more about comedy, have some fun, you can reach out to us at comedyschools.com. We like reaching out to you 6 days a week at 2 p.m. Arizona time. We'll be back with you Sunday at 2 p.m. Taking Saturday off. Much needed rest and relaxation. This half hour is hard on a man. We'll be back Sunday talking to you here on Living on a Thin Line. Bye-bye, you guys. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, YouTubers.
Bye.